Yeah, well, you got one, or we could one in general.
I already used Capital One Auto Navigator. I found my car online and got pre-qualified instantly.
Online, honey, now that can affect your credit score.
It didn't, Dad. Then I got my real rate and monthly payment. Now I just need to head to
One
the
that
dealership.
isn't necessarily African American, just in time in general.
Since we're both up,
We are closer to the year 2050 than we are to 1990. Can't go back in time. 2050 is upon us. Imagine life in 2050. What y'all think 2050 gonna look like?
How many years from now?
20.
26.
28. Yeah. And 1990 would have been what? 22. 32 years ago.
It's gonna be different for sure. I don't know how different, but it's gonna be different. Like we already, like I can only speak for the shit that's already being put in place. You feel me? Like I know all the cars gonna be electric and shit. Like it's gonna be a lot of shit that already having like robots taking people's jobs and shit like
I
that.
think of the gap between 2000 to 2002. Remember, Wi-Fi was not a thing. Wi-Fi is so regular to us. It did not exist until like 2007. Like we were well into childhood by the time that became a thing. And so like that's crazy. So we did like 2000 to 2022. That's only 22 years. And life is so different than what we thought it would be. Now people thought the world was gonna end in 2000. Let alone 2022. The world looked like what it does now. So in 28 years, man.
The world is so much different from 2016.
Facts. Like that's a fact. 2016 was feels like a vintage period of time. Like
Vine had just ended, I think,
Yup.
that year. Like
Vine, man. Everybody was getting famous on Vine.
Everybody.
10 seconds of fame.
Remember that? I showed you the other day. It was like the anniversary of that one video of all those dudes in the locker room. They were rapping. The unexpected like comedians.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that was.
Oh, that shit.
That took over the world.
Hey, yeah, that was a good era.
Yeah.
Like, it's like life.
2012, 13, like, hey.
That's when the world was still fun and
Man.
shit. Like everything's so serious now, bro. Like,
Fact.
COVID, everybody killing everybody, robbing everybody, all types of bullshit. The world used to be like, we used to be lit, baby.
Fact. Yeah, that's a fact. Hey, since you brought up COVID though, how y'all feel about Nevada lifting this mask mandate?
Man, we like the 12th state to do it. It's
Yeah.
about that.
Oh, yeah. So that's really what I was gonna ask. Like states in general starting to repeal it, but us specifically being in Nevada, you know.
It's about goddamn time. I feel
Man,
like
facts.
I was always going to stores and shit. A lot of people still have the mask signs.
Yep.
But like casinos, like the Nevada Gaming Board, they
They repealed it immediately.
They was like, no,
What?
we done with the mask. No,
Facts.
all the casinos, everything is over with. But like grocery stores and shit, they like businesses is privately owned. It's still at your discretion.
Fact.
Yep.
It's still
My
at your
dentist,
discretion.
we still have to keep ours on.
Yeah. And I get it, cause you got people who gonna.
That's
I was having this
cool. I like
conversation with
this
my
necessary.
mom. Like there's people who gonna always wear a mask from ever forward. You feel me? From
Right.
now forward. And you got people like me who couldn't wait. Like throw the mask away.
I was one of them. I ain't gonna cap.
No,
I went into the store. I went into Albertsons. So Albertsons is one of the stores that's still trying to make people wear masks. But the day it happened, a lot of people went in and did wear masks.
Right.
And so everything was ready. Like I went in, like I was telling you, I cracked a joke with somebody, like just to acknowledge, like, man, we don't gotta do this no more. Like this is crazy. So I'm looking forward to it. But I kind of feel different in regards to my kid. Like that's what's crazy. Like me, I don't want to wear the mask no more. I'm glad I don't want to, but I consulted with both of her mothers and was like, hey, like how should we go about like wearing the mask? Because for the kid, even for myself, I've already been the type to never really get sick.
Yeah.
But I did notice an increase in never getting, and almost rarely ever getting sick. And I noticed that for a kid as well, that's always around other kids, especially in daycare. Kids is always sick, sniffy nose, coughing, something in daycare every day. And then when the masks started, like that she just wasn't sick anymore. So I do see a benefit to it, but you know, I'm not so dead set that she's not gonna wear the mask the way I am. I'm dead set I'm not wearing a mask anywhere where it's not permitted. But for her, I'm like, maybe you should still wear it in school. You know, like it's like,
For me, it's not necessarily the mask. It's just everything that came with the mask, like sanitizing.
Yeah.
High touch areas.
Yeah.
Washing your hands all the time.
They don't even do that
Staying
no more.
away.
If anything, I think we should do that
Over the mask. Yeah, that's
like
a fact.
let's just be a cleaner society.
Man, it's
That's a
just
fact.
crazy how nasty we found out niggas is.
Man.
People still just go to the bathroom and walk. I saw a dude use a urinal with his phone like this, and then walk straight out the
Yeah.
bathroom.
See, I've worked in a restaurant. I've seen people go blow their nose, do the most shit, pee, cough, and leave. Like,
I've
leave.
never understood that.
I've seen the most. Like, it's
I've
fucking
never
disgusting.
understood that. That's so gross.
I get grossed out when I see people have food on the side of their mouth. I'm
Yeah.
like, please wipe your face.
Yeah.
When it comes to all that other stuff, oh man.
Handle your hygiene, please.
Please.
Yeah, that's amazing how nasty motherfuckers is. Super gross.
Yeah.
It's super gross. But even I'm actually glad, you feel me, like I don't have kids right now in this environment. You feel me? Like cause I don't know, it's like you wanna say I wanna give my kids discretion of course, but at a certain age you obviously gotta make decisions for them. You feel me?
Right.
I don't know, man. I know I wouldn't have wanted to wear a mask in school.
Right.
Regardless of what, like, you feel me? I believe in God wholeheartedly, you feel me? Like, if it's my time, I'm gonna go. Regardless of what the world say going on, like, Corona, whatever, I'll walk outside and get hit by a bus if it's my time to go. Like, I believe 100% in God. So I don't know. I don't want to be walking around, like, restricted, I guess, like, in any way type shit. But I don't know. It's tough. I like how it is, though. I feel like everybody should just have their own decision. You feel me? It's at your discretion.
Oh, the stupid thing is CCSD is making them still wear a mask on the bus.
Yeah, not in class,
Like,
on the
what?
bus.
Like, that is ridiculous.
Like, what student is going to ride to school on the bus?
Who's gonna enforce that?
And if I go to school with a mask in the morning, by the time I get out of school, I'm not going to have any idea where that mask is at.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have any clue where that mask is at if I don't have to wear it all day to school. All the shit we used to get into it, like that's the last thing
we
we
used to
worried
steal
about.
each other's backpacks. Like,
Bro,
somebody mask is definitely being thrown away.
Flip your shit inside out.
Yeah, binders, folders. We taking all your pencils.
Everything.
We're definitely stealing your mask.
Definitely doing something with it.
Right. It's gonna be in my pocket or something.
Right, yeah.
Watch you look for your mask. Like,
Blow my nose and your shit.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. But yeah, we're going a different direction, man. For sure. But anyway, shit. Shoot. I said anyway, shoot. This what episode is it? Like
12.
Episode
12 in this thing, big weeks.
Yeah, Darius, man.
Millie J.
Episode 12, Family Footsteps Podcast, man. We everywhere. We in your face. We in your ears. Man, hopefully we here for some years.
It's exciting what y'all got to talk about. I got some things on.
It's been a slow news week.
I just what y'all. It depends on what y'all want to
Shit,
start
anything,
with.
anything. Start with anything. Your most interesting topic.
We already got the mask mandate.
Did y'all heard about Kodak? He was at a Justin Bieber party. Okay, it's a lot of big names at this party, or either there or supposed. Lil Baby was there, Kodak was there, Justin Bieber party. Drake was supposed to be there. Like a lot of big names was either there or supposed to be. Kodak get into a fight with somebody. It's in LA. They break out. When they leave, this happened today. 3 people get shot in the party. It's all on video. You see the fight. You see everybody chilling, Lil Baby, all of them chilling. Then another video, it's a fight. They jumping over cars, and then the next video, like in that same video, pop, 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 pop. Probably maybe 5 to 7 shots let off. 4 people got shot total. They all were okay. Everybody got non-life-threatening injuries. But then hours later, Kodak was one of the people who got shot. He got shot in the leg.
Really?
Yeah, this literally just happened
What
like
the
2-3
fuck?
hours ago. And I'm like, okay, thank God everybody's okay, but I hope that's a wake-up call of, hey, you could have been another story gone wrong. And you in LA, how many rappers are down in LA? It's like,
I understand that LA is different.
like, please, please.
I don't know why people.
How y'all feel about that? Literally just happened today. Like,
Yeah, I didn't even. This is my first time hearing this.
Me
That's,
too. I
That's
was like,
nuts.
shit.
That's the
at a
last
Justin
thing I
Bieber
heard
party.
you say.
This is at a major party.
LA.
Lil Baby is there kicking it like out. They outside hanging out like.
But shit, rappers only beef with each other. You feel me? And that's the only place you really see each other is at those events where everybody is gathering for the big events like the Super Bowl, all the parties that weekend. Like people bound to run into each other. But that's crazy. You don't never want to hear about nobody getting shot.
Facts.
Like,
I wonder who he was beefing with. You know, like
who was y'all fighting with?
Cause then the fight, you're just fighting. You don't see faces. You don't see who. You see Kodak like his crew, but you don't know who he punching, who punching him.
Right.
None of that. So
Like just why? My whole thing is why? Like, why can't we not go nowhere and be civilized, dog? I don't understand.
I hope that's a wake up call. Like,
Nah, I'm glad that everybody's okay though. Like, well, as okay as it could be. Like nothing life threatening. You feel me? I'm glad everybody's still here. And man, it's a long weekend ahead. Like this is the first of many incidents. I'm sure. Unfortunately, just like I was saying with the Pro Bowl, with them having a Pro Bowl out here, like. You don't see what's been happening in Vegas with the Raiders. Like people gonna come out here and get in trouble. And sure enough, Alvin Kamara got arrested right after the Pro Bowl. And now the same shit in LA. The Super Bowl weekend with LA already been crazy in itself.
Yeah.
We got all these super tough guys, celebrities, and everybody want to go out there. I hope nothing happened the rest of the weekend.
Right.
But it's a long weekend ahead. So hopefully you feel me, chilling and. Just like go home or go like
relax.
Stay where you need to be at doing like I'll never understand having so much money and not having like no security or nobody to do that type of or get into that type of stuff like for you or
Well, that reminded me of a video I seen with DJ Academics when he was talking about the whole Draco situation, and he was talking about how LA, how security is set up in these type of events where
it's the homies.
Yeah, they pretty much get one of the big homies and it's like, hey, can you just be security at this place?
Right, hold it down.
So I wonder if it's like that just across the board.
More than likely in LA, especially. Yeah,
that was the thing with Nipsey too. A lot of his security was his homies, and the problem was that they was felons, so they couldn't own guns.
Right.
So even the people that patrol his store, nobody got guns. So if somebody pops up with a gun, he is in full control because nobody else on this premises has a gun.
Like,
and that was the downside of what happened to him.
I'm sure his guns around, but as a
legally, of course. Somebody got
you can't have it on.
Right, we got a gun in reach, in vicinity, right.
By the time
But
somebody runs
that's a fact. Yeah, it's too late when they ain't got a gun on him right now. Like,
that's crazy. That's crazy. But hey, prayers up for everybody in that situation.
Yeah. That's glad no lives were lost.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. I hate to hear that, bro. I hate to hear that. Yeah, you just broke that to me, man. I hate to hear that. So obviously we gotta talk about the baby there.
How y'all feel about that? Okay.
So to break the story down first.
Do one of y'all want to go?
I don't know the entire story.
I guess from what I know, it was another Super Bowl event in LA at a bowling alley. From what I heard, Daddy Lay's brother was already at the event. Like he was the first one. Like he was there first. He was already there functioning. Whatever. It's a celebrity event. It's a celebrity event. All the stars is there. So I don't know if the baby was supposed to be there or he just got the drop or something. But he was there. But so then the baby and his crew show up, and they said I guess his name is Bills. Danny Lake brother approached the baby like on some like let's talk. You feel me? On some man to man. You feel me? Like let's talk. 1-on-1 over here. You feel me? And from that point on, the beating occurred. Like I said, the baby like knocked him. Like how we seen the video. They fighting on the bowling lane. They said the baby knocked him onto the bowling lane. In one punch.
I saw So all these, it's a million videos. You have to scour the internet to have seen everything. But the way Brandon Bills told the story is not exactly what happened. He made it seem like the baby never touched him at all. And the baby, that was the first one. The baby was the first one to boot. He knocked. They were like where you supposed to be in the bowling alley.
Right,
the baby knocked him onto the lane and then punched him a couple more times. Then the security jumped in. And everybody else did what they did, but he tried to make it seem like the baby didn't have no involvement. Like, no, he rocked you a couple times. Like, be real.
Yeah,
but that's crazy.
About his hair.
That was crazy, but it's a fight. Ain't no rules in a fight.
I don't look at that.
I don't gotta finish it how you started. Like,
fear and what you I don't look at that no type of way. Like, you got
long hair. Like, you're susceptible to getting it pulled. Like,
that's what I'm saying. You telling somebody it's on site, you got like
right, and you getting beat up anyway. You were getting punched anyway. Not like let's forget the hair. If they didn't pull your hair, you got beat up, punched, and slammed. Then they pulled your hair. Like they pulled your hair to get you off the ground, but they didn't. They slammed you first. Like don't act like the pulling of the hair is that drew the line for the winning or the losing. Right. You lost already. Like they just pulled your hair after that. You know, like okay, you lost. Like. He should have. I supported jumping. Just like you said, if you talking about it's on site and you gonna pull up and XYZ, then and whatever, if I press you or you press me and I just so happen to be with 5 people,
I'm not even waiting to see you told me it's on site.
Yeah. Already. You know, like that's what I'm saying. Like it don't even matter. If I press you or you press me, if we see each other and you said it was that, it's that.
I don't get why people don't understand that. Like, you still took an L even if you did get jumped.
Yeah. He talking about ain't nobody come help me. So, like, that's the whole thing.
You talking shit.
You said. And what's crazy is your sister was in the wrong. Your sister beat him up, got locked up for it, and you didn't like that and felt the need to defend your sister. Which, okay, I understand that, but hold her accountable. You know, like if you gonna publicly press me like this to where it's on site in public, and if we're gonna contextualize it, the baby didn't do nothing wrong. They got in an argument like adults do, and then she beat his ass, like, you know, and she got arrested because if the situation was reversed, the baby would have been canceled for beating up a girl, you know?
He
so,
didn't do nothing physically, but he was talking to her.
Yeah, he was, but that's what I'm saying. Getting into an argument like adults do, you can't never hold an adult accountable for words.
Brother, I'm like, she was wrong, but me and you, man to man, like, it's a different way to handle that. You feel me? She was wrong, but me and you, it's a different way.
I'd agree if the situation never escalates itself. Like me, I've seen my sister get into arguments with other people. Unfortunately, he has. But as a man, I have to say, hey, if you two are going to engage in a verbal disagreement, it stays there. Now, at the point where it gets physical, that's where some intervention should take place. But in regards to 2 people, both of them disrespecting each other, let it go. That's how I feel. Like, it's not right, but it's not wrong. 2 adults, if it hasn't escalated and it's just that, it stays that. The minute it's getting ready to escalate or does is where somebody should step in and keep things from that.
So
but other than that,
if Lil Joe got millions of followers online, he going live and he calling your sister a bitch on live.
But she is doing the same. It's not like it's one side. That's what I'm saying. If I'm doing XYZ to her and she is just completely the victim and taking this, that's an issue. But if we are in a full-fledged argument going back and forth, disrespecting each other, hurting each other, throwing jabs at each other, nobody should feel the need to be like, that person's wrong. No. Both of us are wrong.
You're right. I wouldn't. You're right. I'm not in that moment. I'm not like I need to put hands.
She going crazy on this nigga talking the most.
I need to have a conversation with both of y'all.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He should have approached like if you're gonna press me publicly in person and it's really that, then there needs to be accountability on the other side because I got my ass beat. Like you feel me? Like he getting the baby. I gotta side with him in this regard because it's like. What did he do? He got in an argument with a grown woman. He said some mean things. She said some mean things. They said mean things to each other. But she put her hands on him. Yeah. That's where it stops. It's not like they put their hands on each other, because then that's a whole different scenario. She put her hands on him, and it stopped there.
And then he could.
And you mad at me? You pressing me like
your whole family trying to get me, man. Like,
it stops there. You feel me? Like, that's why I'm like, this is different. Like, fuck that. You're not gonna do that.
I'm looking at it from Bill's perspective, but when I look at it from the baby perspective, if I'm the baby, I'm with you.
She called me a bitch ass nigga. I called her a bitch. She called me a bitch nigga. Like, ouch. You know, like.
He was on site, so I saw you
and we jumped.
And it was on.
Yo, girl, and that's that. Like, I don't see how he misstepped. I'm sorry. Like, we gotta contextualize everything that happened. Like,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, the baby handled his business. He did what he supposed to do.
What else am I to do? I diffused the physical situation and pressed somebody who was pressing me.
A track record. Not only does he have a track record, he has a documented. Online physical track record, like you can see
a verifiable paper trail of crime.
You can see my whole resume. You can see my whole resume.
A paper trail of violence.
You saw me killing me in Walmart.
It's on paper trail. It's on video.
And you're telling
me
you're gonna
somebody in Louis Vuitton. You saw me beat up somebody at a hotel.
Facts.
You gotta see me
at the most prestigious events. I've pressed niggas like.
At the most prestigious.
You're getting pressed at a bowling alley in Los Angeles. Like, you can bet your life if I see you at a bowling alley.
Off at Louis Vuitton and at the Met Gala.
At a 100,000 people event, Jay-Z is here. You feel me? We're pressing at that like.
Right. You for sure get.
And we run into Brandon Bills like at a bowling alley. Press!
Yeah.
Pressing to the max.
Yeah, tried to put his head in the bowling machine.
Hey, they did him right.
Yeah, you looking super bad. You looking super bad.
Man.
And now I was here first. Now I can't bowl no.
Now I paid.
I can't bowl.
You know you gotta pay for the bowl. You gotta pay extra $10 for the shoes.
Yeah.
You didn't get the bowl at all. Yeah. They bowled you.
They bowled literally.
For free.
Now you gotta go to the counter and try to get your shoes.
Ask for a refund. Yeah. I didn't even bowl them. And the baby had the blunt in his mouth the whole time. Yeah, kept it peeved.
That's crazy. I don't understand why everybody got to be so tough. Everybody want to get into it with everybody. I don't get it, bro. Stay out the way. Stay out the way. Somebody got to lose.
Watch your mouth.
Stay out the way. Why? And then if you gonna say something, back it up. Oh.
He doubled down with TMZ. He was talking about, I really got hands. A lot of these rappers don't fight. I really fight. Like, he was standing on like, I'm gonna do this when I see you. And
for one, this is the baby you talking about. Like, we've seen him. Like, you don't put him in that category. Two, if I'm telling you it's on site and then now I know for a fact you're in my city for all these events and shit, I'm not going nowhere by myself.
Fact. Right.
Because I know
you're
not
in your
by
own
yourself.
city and you're not by yourself, or you are by yourself.
Yeah, right. I don't get that. You can't. What?
He said nobody came to help me.
I was just trying to bowl.
You gotta talk to your friends.
Right. Who was supposed to come help you?
Danny
Lane should have came to help you.
Why were you bowling alone? Who are you bowling with?
Right, you don't have nobody else.
Because you're by yourself.
Who's your party?
Your whole crew watched you get beat up.
Right.
And didn't do nothing.
They just saw you in the lane like, what the fuck?
Lucky. Is that Brandon?
Imagine about to bowl.
They in line for pizza and they look back. Yo, in one video, when he gets slammed, he has his white tee on when you see him get slammed, and by the time he get back up, he don't got no shirt on. And I thought that somebody in the comments had pointed it out, and I watched that video, bro. I watched it 10 times. It was so funny. Like when the commotion first start, he fully dressed, gets slammed. As soon as he get back up, his hair looked crazy, shirt gone, he bleeding, and it was like before and after. It took place in like all of 5 seconds. Like,
right.
You done turned into a whole different person.
Man, they need to bring back World Star.
Man.
Like, just for shit like that.
Facts.
No, yeah. World Star used to be that. Like, World Star still exists,
right?
But
yeah.
Every World Star used to be a man. Like, everybody was on World Star.
I remember I saw a fight at Legacy on World Star.
What? I believe that Legacy.
It was this white boy.
It was always something.
It was this white boy and this black dude. They were squared up. The white boy just like does a spinning backhand.
Oh, was it in like the hallway of like by the gym?
Yeah.
I seen that. I remember seeing that. I remember that.
I was
going
like,
viral.
bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, you know, backhand.
It was a bunch of people out there. They was kind of messing with the white boy. They didn't think he was actually gonna do that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. I saw that video go viral, and way after that, I found out it was in Vegas.
Right. It's right at Vegas. That's crazy. Yeah, do not backhand me in the hallway. Do not backhand.
It's like, yeah.
Spinning back fist in the hallway is crazy. That's crazy. Where we? I guess we technically on music.
Yeah, we can stay there.
What y'all think about Mozzie signing to CMG?
We just talked about that. I like that. That's good. That's his most major look, you know. So up to this point, like.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be huge. I don't know. I think yeah, a lot of people like Mozzie, dog, and then now he's about to be. I think he's gonna be put on a different like platform. I guess like more people gonna be able to really tune in to him, you know who he is, because them some big. Even if you just stick to the other people on CMG, them some big features.
Yeah, that's like, a fact.
That's gonna people gonna tune in for Moneybag, 42 Doug, ESTG high right now. Block Boy, whoever, you feel me? Yeah,
he drop a couple features and he gonna be one of the hottest names right back.
I love to see that because he's been. I'm not gonna say he's underground, but he's more of like a West Coast type of guy.
Nah, facts. That's what I was saying. I feel like West Coast rappers don't like we just not as accepted. Like we just not accepted. Like on the globe, like on the I guess not even global, like on the countrywide scale, like we know everybody in Atlanta or wherever, Memphis, all of them. We know all of them. New York, we know all of them. But don't know like every time somebody say, rarely people even mention a West Coast artist in any conversation. But when somebody do bring up somebody, nobody know. Like even when Draco died, everybody, all these outlets calling him Drakeo. Like obviously I don't know who he is. Like, don't try to act like this is heartbreaking to y'all. Like, I don't know, y'all just reporting the story. And people obviously don't know or care like about what's going on.
Yeah,
so I feel like this opening the door. It could be opening the door for sure for more artists on this side of the country to have a light shone on them. I'm expecting big things, man. I think they also announced that they got like music. I don't know if it was like a collab album. They said in the next 2 weeks, or I don't know if it was an Ozzy album or if it was like a whole CMG album. I didn't really. They got something coming in the next 2 weeks.
I think a big part of it is the fact that the West Coast doesn't really conform to whatever the sound is. It's like you can listen to a West Coast artist and be like, yeah, he's from the West Coast.
Definitely.
Yeah,
you can listen to a New York artist and he sounds like he's from fucking Florida or some shit.
Designer sounded like an ATL.
Right. So
But
that's good to see.
I was gonna say when you said New York, Fabio Foreign dropped a single with Kanye West. Y'all seen that shit?
I saw it, but I didn't hear it.
I heard it.
He said it was.
God, that shit was hard.
Yeah, I was about to say I heard it was fire. He said he got his blessing. Like he felt like this was his like a stepping stone to his career.
I don't know if it was when Donda dropped or something. Like he was doing an interview or something. He said his next album will be EP will be executive produced by Kanye West.
Wasn't he on Donda?
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying.
Yeah.
Off the grid.
Yeah, okay.
That song was hard too.
So I mean, the album should be hard. Like I ain't gonna lie, like I ever tuned in like to a Fabio Foreign album, you feel me? But I'm gonna for sure listen to that if he coming like that.
I like his interviews. I've seen a couple of his interviews before.
Yeah.
And I listen to see how rappers speak, like because you go in not necessarily expecting some type of kind of simplicity, but like that's usually what's projected.
Right.
I like when I hear a rapper and he speaks a certain way or he talks a certain way. The personality a little more outgoing. He's one of those guys. Like you could tell if it wasn't for rap, he would still have a lot of friends. People would still probably like him. People would want to be around him. That type of personality. Like he seemed like a super cool person.
Yeah.
I like people like that.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. I can't name 2 songs, but check out a couple of interviews. He seemed like a super cool dude.
Oh yeah, that's dope. And shout out to Kanye for reaching down, I guess, and reaching out.
Did you hear Kanye's verse?
Kanye snapped too. Kanye snapped. Like I know you don't really.
I didn't expect that.
I didn't hear the song at all.
Like rap,
really?
snap.
I'm gonna check
He
this
talk
out.
about everything too. He talking about Cam, P. Davis, and he talked about everything, dog. Like,
Just have y'all heard his verse on that game song?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just like that. He was kind of saying some of the same stuff, where you just wouldn't expect that he would say such a thing. Like
inviting him to the birthday party
Yeah.
and all of that.
Okay, I can check all that out. That's crazy. What's the song called? City of God. Is Pusha T on that song?
No.
What's that song that Pusha T is on?
Nah,
I heard a snippet. That's what it
That
is.
shit was
I heard a
crazy.
snippet of his verse, and it was crazy from
Bro.
what I heard.
Yeah.
DJ Academics played it.
I seen
It was
it
crazy.
on my phone, but I didn't listen to it yet.
That shit is hard.
Yeah, you liked it.
It was crazy.
I like Pusha T though. I mess with Pusha T for sure. Oh, he should probably have an album coming soon too. You know who did drop an album that was dope? Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that song.
you feel
I didn't even
me?
hear he was
Yeah.
dropping the tape.
Shout out to
It was a
Snoop Dogg.
surprise because you know he just bought Death Row.
Yeah.
Shout out to Snoop Dogg for that. That's
Crazy.
that got the potential to be huge, like super huge. But he dropped the album. It's titled it's BODR, but it stands for Back on Death Row. You feel me? And that shit sounded like old, like Dr. Dre, like old West Coast. Like that shit was old. Or like I was like, oh, and Snoop was really rapping.
Did Dre produce on it?
No, I don't think he produced on it. No. Like, he did have like Warren G on that song or two. He had like that shit sounded like old West Coast, but it sounded like it's still like you fuck with it today too.
Right. Okay.
And you could tell,
Well,
you know Snoop sometimes he be on his other shit, like he be doing reggae or Snoop Lion shit or whatever.
Snoop Lion.
You feel me? You could tell
I
first
forgot
song,
about that.
first
Snoop
song you
Lion.
could tell he was back on his like doggy style type
Yeah.
shit. He was like, what's happening, niggas and niggas?
Yeah.
Another one, I was like, oh yeah, this about to be it. You feel me? Like he about to rap, right? And that shit sounded good, bro. I was surprised. But that's gonna be huge too. I also seen I ain't listened to it, but since Snoop doing that Super Bowl shit, I seen Mary J. Blige drop the album or something too.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I was hoping Kendrick would drop something shit like this is great promotion, the Super Bowl halftime show. So
Facts.
both of them albums probably gonna do pretty cool, but Kendrick should for sure, man. Depriving us of the music, dog. Kendrick got us messed up out here, dog. We waiting on that. We need that.
I see a big discussion topic related to that is a lot of people are saying his inactivity makes him not, it excludes him from being the best rapper in the world. Because he hasn't dropped an album in, what, 2 years now?
A few years, I just probably longer than that. Yeah, longer than 2 years.
I don't hold him on that like that's customary.
But
People still eventually drop, and I guess if they hold that against him, that he hasn't, like, yeah, they wait years and then drop, and whereas Kendrick has waited years and still hasn't dropped, it's like, okay.
right.
He usually, and I'm not even the biggest Kendrick fan. I think as a lyricist, I think he is one of the GOATs. But on day-to-day basis, does he make music like the beats and sounds that I like listening to on a day? No. You know, I'm a Cole fan, I'm a Drake fan. They make music regularly. I can play this any second of the day. But Kendrick, I hear how people talk about his albums. I see how people appreciate his music. I see the accolades it gets. Oh, damn, like, people really like that. You know, so I feel like however long he makes you wait, I think it's safe to say he's going to drop something that makes you go, whoo, this was worth the wait. You know, like, I could see that. I've never gotten the vibe of people feeling like, dang, he waited this long. Every time they wait that long, he gives them exactly what they wanted to where, all right, we could ride this for the next couple of years for whenever the next time he drop, you know? So I don't get. I wouldn't agree with that
hinders
his yeah.
I got a similar opinion because, like, people know my favorite rapper of all time is Andre 3000. You feel me? And that's the same type of thing people say about him. Like, not the same exact thing. Like,
Yeah.
people say he just don't have
But
a solo
drop.
album.
Well, yeah.
But it's the same thing. Like, it's not as much music as the next person, so people kind of try to downplay you. But the music that we do have from you, that you do put out, you feel me, is that, like, it's worthy of being held to that acclaim. So I don't take nothing away from nobody for the time they take. Like, that's a new age thing. Like, dropping albums every
Year?
like twice a year,
Yeah,
twice
that's
a year, every
crazy.
year. Like, that wasn't what was done before, and some people, you could make the argument on the opposite end that other people's music is lacking quality because of that. You know what I mean? So it just depends on how you look at it. But what you think? You agree with those people who say that, or what?
I do think in order to be considered the best in the game, you do somewhat have to be like active in the game. Like think of if like there's been years where the top player in the league was injured for the whole year, but they're still in that conversation as best player in the year. But is it fair to put them in that conversation when you haven't been playing, but I'm putting up all these stats, I made the playoffs, like I'm doing all these things while you're injured. Like what you did pre-injury.
The interim, like I was just talking about wrestling. Whenever somebody was hurt, there was like an interim champion. I would look at it like that. Like if at a point in time where either LeBron or KD were like clearly the best, and that when it wasn't yet Giannis, so we go like pre-MVP. If KD was hurt, yeah, Giannis probably is gonna be like the interim best player in the league because he's here. He just won MVP. People like, but we know it's really KD. You know, like that's how I think. So I like that would be KD would be Kendrick in that sense. Like, and on top of that, I feel like who of his true contemporaries has dropped something that has threatened him or threatened his stance in the public perception? Because just like he said, like maybe the quality isn't that good if you got to keep dropping. Drake dropped an A side and a B side that had each like 15, 16 songs. You can't name 7 songs off of Scorpion. Like you can name your favorite songs, but if you need to drop a nearly 30-track album and the majority of that album is forgotten about months after it happened, like
what was the point?
That's you know, Cole ain't dropped nothing that made me go like, is he better than Kendrick, or is it like in the rank? Because I could feel like Cole's my favorite and still not have him as number 1 in the ranking. Drake is obviously the most accomplished of the 3. Kendrick probably is the best rapper of the 3. Cole is kind of like a fan favorite type, you know, like I think he probably has more low key fans. More people would include him as a 2 or 3 versus the others, you know. But
he like a happy medium.
Like a perfect blend type thing. So none of them have dropped anything that changes the ranking, so to speak. So with Kendrick, it's like he can damn near afford not to drop. The offseason wasn't good. Was it better than any of Kendrick's last 3 albums? Probably not. Was any of Drake's last 3 albums better than Kendrick's last album? Or as timeless? Does it have the longevity of that? Probably not. So he can go that little longer without dropping, because they not going to drop nothing. Drake don't got an album. Drake, if he would have dropped another Take Care, like this going to sound good 10 years from now. If he drops that, I think that lights a fire under Kendrick to go, ooh, let me drop. He probably heard Drake album and was like, I'll give him another year.
Sometimes
I'll give him another year.
Motherfuckers a string and let them hang next to them. Let them put that shit out. Like, is this your king? You feel me? Like, this what y'all rocking with? Like,
Facts.
This is the guy y'all saying? Like, that shit ain't making no noise. Like, Kendrick album is like, you feel me? It's like GTA. We only gotta put one out. You feel me? And
y'all gonna rock with it
for the next
that's a good
decade. You feel me? Whereas, like, you feel me? Like a 2K or something. It's dope. Everybody play 2K, but you gotta drop that shit every year.
Right.
You can't play 2K19.
Right. It's completely different.
It's completely
we ain't even on that. None of the homies on that.
Like, I'm dropping a timeless, you feel me, piece. Like GTA, you feel me, that y'all gonna play for decades to come. For the next decade until I feel like giving y'all a new piece of content. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's a good analogy right there, I would say.
And like you said, they all do play different roles. Like you said, Kendrick is more. His music is viewed more as art. Yeah. Like he has probably more of the critically.
Yeah, he's the more creative, futuristic, introspective of the 3.
Drake is like the star, I guess. He's
the
always
glitz and
gonna be
glam.
there. Yeah. And then like you said, J. Cole is just gonna keep us entertained.
Right.
Which isn't bad.
He's like your cool
I
big
feel
guy.
like Kendrick gonna drop the award-winning project. Drake gonna, you feel me, get the most streams. You feel me, break all the streaming records, and then J. Cole was like the people's champ. You feel me?
Right.
Everybody just, you know what's good with him. Like,
Right.
I'm kind of sick of that though. Like I want somebody to really like embrace the top spot. Like I can drop a critically acclaimed album. I can stream more than you, and I can be more entertaining than you. Like,
that's real.
I want somebody to do that.
I think Drake has lines like that. He doesn't have songs or albums like that. Like I wish he would do something like that on a broader scale, because we can pinpoint specific songs where he says things like what song where he say something, let's see who's still around a decade from now. That's real.
Uh,
You know, like, he throws those, was it that he throws those tiny little lines, like, but if he did like a song where he is like, I'm staking my claim as this, like Control with Kendrick, it was different because that was a song with 2 other people on it and he went last.
Yeah, they still didn't.
But
Still
yeah, that's what I was about to say. But the fact that that was just a verse, and for years that had the whole world going, oh my God.
Niggas who ain't rapped in 10 years, jumping out, he talking.
Yeah, King of New York, we gotta get together. You know, like he really started something with that. So imagine somebody doing a full song or a equally powerful verse. His verse, that was otherworldly. Like nobody, chances are you're not gonna go in the booth and make that. You know, but and the crazy part is like Big Sean and Jay Electronica chop. Big Sean, one of his greatest verses was on that song, and he got ate up. Both of them got ate up. That's the sad part. That tells you where he came from. That's what I'm saying. Another rapper probably not gonna just go duplicate that.
Talked about them,
like
them too. He mentioned them too.
Right
on the song. What? What they would probably, because that's a big, people forget, that's a Big Sean song.
Yeah.
That's his song. He sent that
Kendrick
song.
was naming people, dog.
Kendrick dropped that, sent it back, and then went,
it's bigger than you. You feel me?
You know, yeah.
Bigger than
But
you.
imagine like, imagine emailing that to Kendrick, and then like a day or 2 later, he sent it back. You're like, ooh, Kendrick sent this verse back. Let me get home, and you hear that. And that goes for Jermaine Cole, Big Crip Wale. Wait, what? Like, he just going off like, hey, hold on, what?
Kendrick's the only one out of them who really be like pressing their.
Yeah, you know, so like,
man,
I like that. Even in his BET cipher, the TDE cipher, when he talked about Drake, and that goes for the sensitive, tucking him back in his pajama clothes.
The whole TDE killed that.
Yeah.
Right? The whole TDE.
High five.
Everybody in the game.
I'm bulletproof.
The whole TDE killed that.
They was going crazy.
They whole TDE killed that. That's a fact.
He said, I got my grip on hip hop. And my foot in the back of your ass. Aftermath, get the last laugh.
I feel like Cole done this, but Cole don't put no name on it or nothing. Like,
he don't care, and I hate that he doesn't care.
Right.
Like Bron, I wish Bron had that mentality of like, I'm finna do this. Like, it's on me. Like, when I talk about that dog mentality, if he had that, LeBron he would have never lost a championship ever. LeBron James would be 10-0 in the finals if he had a Kobe mentality, a MJ, a Melo, a KD.
Yeah. And that's why
J. Cole.
don't put him.
Yeah, and I totally understand it because it is that thing, like, you are our leader. Like when Stephen A. Smith say, take us there. Like, I totally understand that. Like, Bron will take you there, but it's not in the fashion that you want. These guys are going to take me there exactly how I envision it. And I wish Cole had that mindset of like I said, I'm going to stake my claim. I'm this. I'm all of it. Because I feel like on his mixtapes, that's where you hear him rapping about, I'm the hottest this, I'm better than your favorite rapper, this, that, and the third. He did that when it didn't really matter. Like, you know, like nobody was checking for your mixtapes like they're checking for your album. I want to hear that talk when I'm checking for it. Not when it was 12 years ago when I was in 7th grade. You know, hearing you talk that talk don't sound the same versus me hearing it from my favorite rapper as a grown-ass man. Now I want to hear you say those things. I wish he kind of had that dog, like,
he has like
go get
all
it.
the talent too. Like,
there's no
J.
excuse.
Cole is so talented.
No excuse. Stake your claim. I think he can be the best, but it's like he don't want it. I hate that. I feel like it reflects in his albums. It reflects that you don't want it as bad as I wish you did.
Yeah, it used to go hard for J. Cole, like.
Bro,
used to go
time separates them. You know, in 2014, bro, oh my God, you could talk.
Yeah, it used to go crazy.
The GOAT. 2014 for us in Drive. I remember me and Kobe Williams. We were in basketball practice. We were in study hall. That album leaked like a minute and a half snippet of every song leaked like a month before. Yeah. And we heard a piece of every single song, pretty much the whole album, like every song. A minute and a half of every single song leaked. We heard the whole thing. It was like, this is about to be crazy.
Yeah.
When it officially dropped, I was, man, like your favorite rapper putting that out, you know, like I see how everybody feel when their favorite rapper got the album of the year or something that got the whole world on like, whoa.
Right.
He had quotables, like all of social media was quoting the Wet Dream song, you know, like it was like, dang, this is a moment in time.
Every song was quoted.
Facts.
First things first. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
Yep.
Yeah.
All that shit.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
it's
You
fire.
can shopping.
Yeah.
That whole
I gotta listen
album.
to that album.
That whole album
Yeah,
was
you gotta-
That might be-
crazy.
It might be in the car rotation.
Crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
for sure. Gotta put that on. Hell yeah.
But then you didn't produce another one. So like KLTD was cool. For Your Eyes was cool, but they aren't better than that.
Yeah.
So technically you are digressing. Like in that sense of regressing.
I don't know, bro. I feel what you're saying. I get that, but for me, like I look at the whole catalog, like, cause I get the argument where they say where artists will say like they want me to go back to doing that. Like I already gave y'all that album.
Right.
Like so, I get it. I look at your whole catalog. Like your whole catalog is what makes you be one of them top 3 guys. You feel me? Like you gave us that. Appreciate you. You feel me? Like that puts you up there. And he had multiple of those, like before, you know what I mean, all the sideline stories or shit like that. Like he got a catalog that puts him that secures your place at the top of that list. You feel me? Like as you grow older, you keep going and going. Like you want every album you put out to be the best album ever. You feel me? But the catalog is good. You feel me? I don't really take away from them because every project is not better than the last one. You feel me? Like I just don't look at music like that. You feel me? Like that album is good for this. That album is good for that. Like that album is dope for this. Like you did this on that one. You did that on that one. Like I look at the whole catalog in totality. You feel me? I don't look at it like chronologically. Like the last album was better than the album 2, whatever ago.
I do like the fact that all J. Cole's projects kind of reflect his current state of life.
Yeah.
Like KOD wasn't For Your Eyes Only, it wasn't after one of his friends died, like he shot a documentary.
Yeah.
Like the whole tone of that album kind of felt that way. It was a little gloomy.
Yeah.
It had its high points, but it kind of was a depressed ass album.
Yeah, that was the theme of it though. Like making this for my dear homie, for his daughter, whatever. You feel me?
And the KOD, I think that was just you do.
You said what?
I liked it when I first listened to it. It didn't age that well.
Yeah.
I still
like
like For Your Eyes Only. You feel me? There's still some songs on there that's cool.
I like For Your Eyes Only. I'm talking about KOD.
Oh, KOD, yeah, that was my worst one for me.
KOD.
That was the one I didn't really.
Okay, that's what I thought you were talking about. I was about to say, I really don't like that. For Your Eyes Only, I actually heard him perform that live, and
that's what made me like it.
Yeah.
it was.
When I heard
it changed a little bit. The song For Your Eyes Only, I really like that song. That is one of my favorite songs off the whole tape. But the entire project was like.
Hearing it live made me think different. KOD. It was better my first time listening to it. Then it didn't age that well. What was the most recent one? The Off Season.
Off Season.
I like that one.
Yeah, that was hard.
Super dope
That made me go. Ooh.
Super dope album.
Okay.
Album of the year when it came out.
Yeah.
That was a super dope album. From top to bottom, that was a great album for sure. Yeah, I was about to ask a question. I forgot it. I was about to ask a question about J. Cole, but I forgot what it was. That shit probably don't matter though. It wasn't nothing like super important though. Damn, I hate when I lose my train of thought though. That's all I'm fucking good.
We'll stick to music while you jog a memory. Have y'all heard about Isaiah Rashad?
I heard about it.
Yeah, you was telling me.
I feel bad for my man. Okay, so Wack 100 told me. Well, he didn't tell me. I know. I didn't mean to say he told me.
You about to lie so great.
I meant to say Wack 100 said. Like, I don't know why I said told me. Wack 100 said on Clubhouse. I don't know why I said he told me. He said Isaiah Rashad had a girl and a kid. I didn't know that. I'm thinking he was a single man doing this thing, but to have a girl, he got multiple kids?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So
There'd be a lot of dudes though.
Yeah.
A lot of dudes
That
have wife
changed.
and kids.
That made it worse. I didn't like that. That's true, but I didn't know that. I was just thinking, dude was doing
what
him.
You mean it made it worse? What's your feelings on it? Like the situation?
I felt sad for him. Like you don't want your sexuality outed against your will. Like that's always sad. That's messed up, especially how the world gonna perceive gay people. Like he gonna receive some criticism
As a rapper.
that's gonna live on forever, you know. And so in that regard, I'm like, dang, you know, that's messed up. You know, like somebody gonna leak your sex tape, and according to Whack 100, it's a video of him giving fellatio, and so like, you know, like if it's irrefutable like that, you know, and that just kind of gets sprung up on you, I feel bad for somebody to have to do. You a rapper, you know, you got a whole career like Chingy. Chingy career, he went from being the #1 artist in the world to, you know, the trainee Sydney Star. She lied. She took a picture with him as a fan, and she lied and said that they had a relationship together. They pulled his record deal. They pulled all his songs off the radio. Hey, Google it. His whole career was ruined exclusively because a transsexual lied on him. She came out and admitted that she lied. She did a DJ Vlad interview. She admitted that she lied. The picture was, she just took a picture as a fan. He thought she was a girl. Like, she just straight up lied and literally ruined this man's life.
Yeah, that's
and so, like, those type of situations is touchy. It's like,
Yeah.
So, you know, like to see his career, I don't think it's over per se, but you know, I ain't like it's gonna be different to say the least. It's gonna be different.
What's your thoughts?
My thoughts. I mean, I don't know how far the rap community is from like fully accepting like a gay rapper or like an LGBTQ rapper. Like there's Lil Nas X, but I want to consider him like he's more of like a pop star to me.
Yeah, than a rapper.
Yeah, like what if there was a rapper who was gay, but he never really like rapped about any of that stuff?
And
he was just
he has a wife.
He was just rapping.
Or a girl.
He's probably not the only one.
Oh, definitely. But that's what I'm saying. Like, to be able to put a face and name on it, it's different when we casually say he ain't the only one, but we can't put face and name
For a fact, like,
to have it cut and dry him. And I first heard of him in like 2014 with that Shot You Down song. That was the first time I had ever heard of him. And I'm like, okay, like, you know, this is crazy. So
Shot You Down.
yeah, so that he just like you said, like, he not a pop star. He is a rapper. Like, bars. Everything you want in a rapper, he totally is that. He signed to TDE. He representing the West. You know, like he looked like everything. Somebody is gonna be like, damn, but that, you know, like that's gonna be crazy to somebody. And I think that's messed up to have that held against them, especially like it's different when you come out like I'm this. And whoever holding it against you, fuck you, you know, But to have that, like I said, against your will, untimely,
that's
he might not be in the right headspace for that. Like, that's a real trickle down situation.
He may be out to like the people closest to him, like
they might know, like Frank Ocean, they all knew.
All
like,
those probably know, and that's probably how you wanted to keep it.
Frank Ocean?
No, but when Frank Ocean came out as gay, the whole Odd Future, they already knew. Like it wasn't. Remember, they were all rich and famous. But by the time he came out as gay, so they were like, that's news to y'all. Oh yeah, my bad,
Frank Ocean has a line.
That's crazy.
In Oldie, but in one of their songs.
Where
he's like, I'm high and I'm bi. Wait, I mean I'm straight, and like everybody in the background starts chuckling. Because
I knew he was this.
I hate how it happened. You feel me? I like anything against your will. Anything in life, you feel me? Against your will is not cool. You feel me? I hate how it happened, but I fuck with Isaiah Rashad. I ain't gonna hold you. Like,
Facts.
Like that shit don't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, bro, this ain't gonna change my feelings at all.
I
can't speak about that for the world.
I can't say I grew up on Isaiah Rashad, but Isaiah Rashad became a prominent artist to me like way before he was on TDE. Like Kobe Williams, like you already
Kobe put me on there, yeah.
Them smoke sessions in people's cars and shit. Like, listen, Isaiah Rashad, I can honestly say like.
Was a moment in your life.
Was a moment in my like towards the end of high school, like that was like Isaiah Rashad was one of them dudes for me. Like he was like it was a whole moment, like you said, that was like an era. You could then get that shit an era in time. You feel me? Like I fuck with Isaiah Rashad. Hey, I'm not like gonna stop fucking with him. You feel me? Like I don't give a fuck. That don't got nothing to do with me. Like shit, we already have to wait however many years to get this last album. Shit, you feel me? Like I'm waiting on the next one still. You feel me? It's gonna be even longer now.
Like, wow,
it's gonna be even longer now. But I hope he cool. Like I hope he alright. Like I don't ever want nobody to do nothing crazy because this is an artist who has like openly dealt with like depression, publicly dealt with depression.
That's why I brought up the headspace. Like it's deeper than just the surface
Right, shit, yeah, that coming out like that out of the blue, you feel me? Like that shit could go super left, you feel
What
me?
if your girl don't know?
You
know,
that's
like
what I'm saying. You got a wife and
you supposed to
like,
be
I'm not a wife,
dad.
but a girl
Now
and
you might
kids,
not be
like,
dad the way I thought you was dad. Like,
I mean,
that's a lot of dudes. I think there's a name for that when you like marry somebody to like hide your sexuality.
oh yeah. There's a term for this. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a regular word. It's just a word, but we know it to mean that. But it's a casual word. I know exactly what you're talking about. Now I'm blanking on it.
Beer?
Huh?
A beer?
I think it is that. Yep. That's what I was like. It's a regular word. Yep. How do you know that? No.
Alright, so anyways, shout out to Snoop Dogg.
Feed into the woods. I ain't even feeding into that, man. But yeah, that's crazy as hell, man. That's crazy as hell. See, you was the first nigga with the story, nigga. You might you was the first nigga to take me up.
Hey.
It's a tape, bro. Just a tape.
Hey.
It's a research.
I'm too informed.
That's crazy though. And then you gotta think about how like you on TDE, you in LA, you on TDE, like how your label mates let them know how. But I did see a lot of people like supporting them though, like
the facts on Twitter. That was dope.
Deuce said something. Deuce was on his last album. I seen he said something like fucking, and I don't remember who else. People were saying like this shit though. I'm like, oh yeah, man. Hopefully he still keep doing his thing. He can keep rocking out with the music. The music fire. I ain't like that. Ain't make me feel no different type of way about the music. Like, I ain't saying no wild shit in his music. You feel me? Like when Lil Nas X, when we found out he was gay, you feel me? Like his song took on a whole different meaning.
Crazy. Like,
you feel me? Like
from riding horses.
Yeah, you feel me?
Riding horses.
Yeah.
Quite literally. On video, on stage, like, dog, this is.
Yeah, wow.
Hey.
I be talking that shit, like, you talking like real nigga shit, like, I don't know, the music still fire.
Yeah, also fuck.
What else, anything else happened in music?
I can't think of that.
Wiz and Juicy J dropped today.
Oh, I did see that. It was
like a couple hours ago, so I know now.
It's called like stoner music or something like that. Stoner music or something. That shit probably gonna be cool. That shit gonna be cool. Probably. It'd be hard to get to everything, man. Especially when you got other life shit going on. You feel me? So, but soon come, I'll listen to everything. I try to listen to everything. Like hip hop, R&B, all of that. I try to check it all out. But yeah, if ain't nothing else in music, what y'all want to go to? What?
Sports for sure. We talk about the trade deadline, the biggest trades that happened, man. James Harden and Ben.
When was the last time a trade deadline has been this like action packed?
Crazy, and it's crazy because like I feel like every trade deadline is hectic, but I feel like the successor is crazy. This is the craziest one I can remember in years. Where I'm like, oh my god, and it's also. I can't believe that this James Harden Ben Simmons trade happened as fast as it did. It went from being a rumor that everybody was like, look, there's no way this is going to happen, to, that was on Monday. And then by Wednesday, it's like, oh, they're just ironing out the kinks of this deal. To then Friday, Saturday, it is executed and it's up. I'm like, what? Like, that, how fast it all happened, that was crazy to me.
Yeah, everybody really got what they wanted, too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Everybody was happy with like this was the outcome that everybody wanted. Like everybody on both sides wanted a change and wanted this change in particular. Like Harden has been wanting to play with Joel Embiid since he was in Houston. You feel me? Ben Simmons has been wanting to leave Philly
since James Harden was in Houston. literally. Like
shit, so it was a win-win for everybody. Like I was asking my brother today who he thought won the trade. Like everybody won. Like nobody like came out worse than what they was before. Like everybody won that trade.
That's a fact.
But my favorite move of the deadline was Serge Ibaka to the Bucks.
Man,
I don't think people realize how big that is going to be like, because the Bucks they've been missing something.
Yeah.
You feel me? And everybody's saying because they got rid of PJ Tucker, they was missing that little extra whatever. Real whatever. Like I feel like Serge Ibaka is going to be. He is not PJ Tucker, but he's going to be like the piece that they was missing. Like I feel like that's going. I feel like this second half. What you saying?
Peace, J Tucker.
Peace, J Tucker. Yeah, I feel like in the second half of the season, people gonna start seeing that like, how big of a fool that is. I think people have forgot about Serge Ibaka, bro. Like Serge Ibaka is like
still a capable defender, can shoot legit 7-footer, get up the court, catch a lob,
in the time
dunk on
the
the
time
lines.
that PG been out, like Kawhi been out, so I ain't even him. But since PG been out, Serge been over there like doing his thing. Like he's been holding the team like together. Like I'm gonna give y'all 20 and 10 every night. You feel me? And
that's gonna be nice. He can shoot. He can stretch the floor for you.
And then on top of that, he playing with Bobby Portis. When he not in the game, Bobby Portis is in the game. Like those are two niggas you do not want on the court. Like the whole game. Like
you're not trying to come into the paint against them, especially Bobby Portis.
You feel me? Serge Ibaka too.
That's true.
Right there with him.
Wow. Yeah, that's a fact. Bobby Portis will let you know, hey, this area here. You will catch elbows. Like,
I am
end
the
up
reason
on your
this
back.
is the restricted.
Yeah. Literally.
I am the reason this is the restricted.
You gonna earn this layup, this and1. You gonna earn it. It's gonna hurt. Like.
That's dope though. Yeah, I've been seeing Serge Ibaka been punching on niggas since he been out. So I was seeing him throw hands with everybody.
Question though, how realistic is it that Dame goes to LA? The reason that I say this is because now that Harden's off the table, part of Harden's deal was that he had to re-sign. So he's guaranteed to be a 76er next year. Ben obviously has 4 years locked up. Beal is the only big name free agent that's on the table. Why would Dame agree to get traded for Beal to go to the Wizards who have nothing? That Wizards team sucked. You know, they just traded half their team. You know, and so why would they go there? Why would Beal agree to go to Portland, who also has nothing, and they suck, and just traded their whole team? Now it's looking like y'all gonna be forced to take a Russ.
Yeah.
Out of Russ thrives on a bad team. You don't got nothing else. All you have is Dame right now. That's it.
Trade away his best friend.
You feel me? You blew up your team. You signed a coach that he not against, but he didn't want him. He didn't want Chauncey Billups. He was like, oh, that's cool. I ain't asked for
That's
that.
just his personality.
Yeah, you know, so it's like you don't know what exactly satisfies him, and you blew up your roster, a roster that was already drastically underperforming. They were kicked out in the first round in 4 of 5 consecutive years, and the year that they didn't get swept, the year that they didn't lose in the first round, they got swept in the conference finals by the Warriors, who didn't have KD. They had a hurt Steph and didn't have KD at all against a fully healthy Portland, and they got swept. It's like y'all best year. The best year y'all had was a sweep against a hurt team. It was time to blow it up. Like y'all blew up an underperforming roster, and now you only have Dame. He might as well be traded. Russ, hey, we got Russ. Russ will play in a small market. That sucks. That's where he thrives in.
Yeah.
How realistic is
You
it?
got an up and coming guard right behind him too.
Facts.
Yeah, I don't know. It's obviously a possibility. Like I would like to see him play for LA, but I don't know. I can't sit here and say how realistic it is. I don't know.
I see
There's
it's
30 other
realistic
teams
for
in the
him to play
league
for
still.
another
You feel me?
Yeah. What other team, if Dame leaves? It'd have to be through trade, because he has another year on his deal.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I need the whiteboard in front of me.
Yeah. I'm saying it's interesting. See, I'm up to date with it, so I know.
Yeah.
But it's actually it's interesting what lies ahead, because so many teams are at a crossroads now. Beal is in the last couple of years of his deal that's almost up. He's already having surgery, and both of these players are hurt too. So they're not gonna get full compensation for him. Both players are hurt. You're not gonna trade them next year because then teams are gonna lowball you because they'll be in the last year of their deals. So you have to trade them sooner than later to get the most compensation. You're gonna get underpaid or you're gonna get more underpaid. You trade them this year, you're gonna get underpaid because they both hurt. But if you wait till next year, they're in the last year of their deal, so you're gonna get underpaid because niggas gonna feel like we'll just wait another year until we get them for free. So it's like everybody's kind of at that impasse of like, what do? You know? So I think somebody gonna take Russ. We either gonna have Bradley Beal or we're gonna have Damian Lillard on this team.
That sound hopeful.
I pretty much see that only because it's different last year when there were so many moving parts. So many things could have happened. We had everybody up in the air in last year, their deals or things like that. This upcoming summer, it's going to be a weak free agent summer. As the last kind of 5 years have been full of the best players in the league making the craziest moves. Now they're all locked up. Yeah. They all didn't spend 5 years signing 5-year deals. There has to be a summer where all you niggas are locked up. You know, like we can't have an indefinite amount of years where big names are signing major deals. So we will hit a summer where there's a dry spot. Remember how we always talk about Otto Porter? Otto Porter got a max deal in like 2013, 2014. Yeah. He was an average bench player who just played, who shot slightly better than other role players and got a max deal because there were no other big name players. Just like Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard getting $60 million. The Clippers are, man, he look good. He don't look $60 million good.
Right.
He don't look that good. You know, like, you regret contracts like that, but it's necessary because, like, there's no big name. Do we let him walk? Right, when we let him walk, we get worse. We want to stay as good as possible, so we have to overpay him because he's going to get that bread elsewhere.
I bet you 50% of people don't know what team Otto Porter play for right now.
Me either. Yeah, he might play for the Warriors.
That's what I thought.
I think he plays for the Warriors, does he?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure of that, but like that's crazy.
That's a big market, and niggas still don't know what team.
Facts.
I still bet you 50% of people.
And he signed that big old deal with the Wizards. Like they gave you a max contract, and you were a bench player. You were he was in his second, third year in the league and signed a max deal, but there were no big names. So I think that now that we approach something like that now, what do you do? You know, like there's Dame, there's Bradley Beal, and that's it. Everybody else is locked up. Everybody. Except Russ. You know, like, and you have Russ, who will be in the last year of his deal.
Yeah.
You got those three moving parts. Nobody wants to be in Portland. Nobody wants to be in Washington. If we get Russ out of LA, LA looks like a very, very, very attractive spot.
Yeah.
If I'm coming to that conclusion, their reps and guys who are trained to have these conversations are having this conversation. You feel me? They're coming to these same realizations. So I don't know. I think out of necessity, everybody's aware that a change needs to be made. Just like we were talking about Ben and James Harden, everybody's change needs to be made.
Was on the same page.
Everybody's on that same page. I think the Lakers are obviously on that page. Bradley Beal is having surgery and didn't need it. It was necessary. It wasn't right then and there. He could have waited, but that's his body, his choice. But I'm saying it's not like he wanted to play. Like if somebody really wants to play and they can wait for off shooting hand wrist surgery, they'll do that. But if it's urgent, they'll do that too. I'm thinking he looking at that team, look, we one of the worst teams in the league. I'm not gonna come out here and risk really getting hurt. I'm getting my money anyway.
So with the Lakers not making no moves, what's your prediction for that? How they finish?
I think the Lakers missed the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like they are at a spot where they contending for that play-in, and I think when it comes down to a game or two of making the play-in, even if you make the play-in, you're going to lose to who you play against. That's how I feel. And that's what I was telling you that the other day. I think a lot of people aren't thinking about that. They keep saying, "Oh, the Lakers just got to make it to the 8th seed." I'm like, look, we might miss the playoffs. Like the play-in, you might not contend for the play-in. They have never been down 4 games under 500 the whole year, and they're that right now. Therefore, they are as worse as as bad as we've ever seen them look. They were either 500 or a game above or 2 or 3. They've never been more than 3 games above, and were never 3 games under until they lost their last game. Now you're trending downwards. Russ looks as bad as ever. AD finally looking like himself, but who knows how long that'll last before he either stops playing like that or gets hurt again. Yep. And so, that's not a good problem going into the playoffs. So I don't see a playoff finish. It's too late.
Chance.
Maybe I pray I'm wrong. Like anything could happen.
I hope we
but
can get to a play-in game at least or something.
Who would we play? What's the 8, 9, 10 seed right now?
Shit, I can't call.
I think the Lakers are the 9.
It's a close race though.
It's a game or two between everybody.
We a couple games away from being last. We also a couple games away from being like 5th, 6th in,
Yeah.
in the conference. You feel me? In the conference. So
But that's why I bring up trending downward. You know, it's like
Yeah.
if we went like when you brought up if the Lakers was to go on a 5-game win streak, niggas would be a 5th or 6th seed. That would be perfect.
we don't even have that.
Are they gonna go there? They lost 8 straight. They lost 8 of the last 10. You know, like are they gonna go on a 5-game win streak at the most vital period and have the toughest? They have the #1 toughest schedule the rest of the year. Post All-Star break, old roster, everybody trying to chill and relax.
Right.
When they get back from the All-Star break, they might get 40 pieced. They might get beat down off of having been out for a week and a half. Remember when they just had they beat the Knicks. They had 2 full days off, played the Bucks, and got thrashed. Now they probably would have lost anyway, but y'all look bad. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Like, so a 2-week break.
Look at the difference in the records right here.
Yeah,
We're 26 and 30 right now.
This is
The
embarrassing.
Warriors are 41 and 15. That's
Ridiculous.
terrible. We lost 30 games already.
Your record's reversed. Like,
That's crazy. That's crazy, dog.
bad.
And we got LeBron James and Anthony Davis on the team, bro. And we can't put together.
Playing.
We
Looking
can't
good.
stay at 500.
Facts.
That's so crazy to me, bro. We can't even stay at 500. Like, so that's go back to that X factor you was talking about, that like a Kobe or somebody got. Or like Bron ain't been playing bad by no means. He's
Right.
playing great, but it's just like
Not getting it
it's
done.
something like that's why I call it X factor. I can't put a title on it, but it's something that just like you will not only yourself but your team
Yeah.
to at least put up the effort to win. You
Yeah.
feel? Like we don't even look like we trying.
Yeah, that's
out
the
there.
thing. Like,
And I ain't seen
that
Bron like
effort.
on the court go in on nobody. Kobe Bryant on the court.
Yeah.
We losing
Yelling.
like that. Kobe Bryant on the court snapping on his own teammates. Kobe's known for going in on his
Facts.
teammates in games and in practice. Like y'all soft like Sharman and
Train
all
them.
these
Right.
shit, like
Brown kind of just sitting back allowing
it.
you know.
Scared to say something. Rush your
Yeah.
boy. Everybody your boy. You don't want to say nothing to nobody. A bench player, nobody. Like that's so whack to me, bro. Like yeah, Kobe Bryant just had that fire. Like,
Right. That care. Like, I care so
Yeah.
much. Brown seems content. Like, it's okay. And I kind of, if I only accept that mentality if you have conceded defeat to the season. To which point, I'm never okay with you conceding defeat. But like,
yeah, that's not even cool.
for
And that's
somebody
not-
who's 37,
That's what I'm saying.
has seen how bad this team is, I told her this. I was like, look, if it's a foregone conclusion that the Lakers are gonna look this bad and nothing's gonna go right, I'm all for Brown kind of just stat chasing. You don't got nothing else. If the season is gonna be written off as a wash, like y'all are, obviously nothing's gonna right this season. You guys are not gonna win a championship. You're not gonna contend for one. If you make the playoffs, you'll probably get swept or 5 games. Like they look like that right now. This season, there is no right way to end this season. So with that said, you might as well average 29 points. You might as well go shoot hella shot. I'd allow him to be disinterested if he has given up, you know, and I don't appreciate him giving up, but it's
I
like,
don't like that. I don't like
yeah,
that.
I'm never for that. But when we contextualize it, you are almost 40. You obviously are playing for a championship, and this particular team is not. So if it's championship, it's bust. You know, like championship or bust. So in a bust season, it can average 29 in a bust season or average 18 in a bust season. You know, like if the season is meant to be a bust anyway, I'd like to see my dude go out average 29, 8 and 6, 52% shooting. Like go out chucking. You know, like I'll take that as a consolation if it's gonna be.
Yeah, we
this
still
bad.
trying to win though. You should.
Yeah,
never
that's
step
what I'm
out
saying.
on the
Try to
court
win,
not
yeah.
trying to win.
Absolutely.
Like,
Never
come
step
on.
on the court not trying to win. But you could try to win as bad as possible and still lose by 30. And if that's the position that they're in, even if we try to win, we gonna lose by 30.
Bro, Kobe last game, we knew we wasn't doing nothing, going to no playoffs, no nothing. We
Yeah.
knew what was up. We was down 10 points in the last 2 minutes of that game. Kobe Bryant had like 51 points at the last 2 minute mark. You feel me? We down 10 points. He then went on to score 60 and give us the game. We won the game by like 5. I want to say like 5 points type shit, 3 to 5 points.
Mhm.
Like as long as I'm on this court, like I am here to do a job. You feel me? Like there's no such thing. Like you would never hear Kobe Bryant say anything about like you wouldn't hear nobody around Kobe mention anything about him being disinterested in the game of basketball. Like I don't care if it's practice. You feel me? A real game, my last game, my first game. Like I don't know. You just would never ever.
Maybe not for a
associate
season,
this
but
injury.
he's had moments like that before. He's walked off of courts. He has made teammates take the ball in playoff games and refuse to walk up the court. That's on camera in a playoff game where he refused to cross half court because he was disinterested in how the team went. So maybe not for a season. It has happened before though. Everybody has had a moment where they just fed the fuck up. Like that has happened. But for a season, like to have that mentality for the second half of a season, I guess that would be something unprecedented. And again, I'm not saying Brown should approach that, but if that's what he's doing, you know, it's not up to me to agree or disagree. If that's what he's doing, I'm gonna observe it and say that's what he's doing. I don't necessarily think he's there yet, but I think he's trending in that direction. Like he's becoming less and less enthusiastic about writing this role. You know, like what more can a leader say when he's observing that nothing is working? What more can he do if he was observing that nothing is working? I see if somebody get to that point, they're like, all right, I've been here before, but we usually had it figured out by now. This is crazy. And I ain't never seen a team with LeBron James on it look this bad with him on it. That's why this party, he deserves blame for this. He ain't absolved of nothing. You averaging 29, fully healthy, and y'all look like this? You gotta take that. That's a stain for sure.
Real quick, what's just y'all like Super Bowl predictions real quick?
Rams win by double digits. I want the Bengals to win. I think the Rams are
I got Rams by. I was gonna say 13.
Yeah, the Rams should win, but I think on like officially on record, I'm gonna probably pick the Bengals.
Word.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I don't got like no score prediction or nothing.
I see the Bengals best. I really pray you're right. I'm rooting for Joe Burrow to win so bad, but we gotta be real. You know the Rams look like the Rams.
They stack. They made to win. You feel me?
I see their best scenario is like a go down swinging. If they don't get blown out, I think they go down swinging. They lose by 3, 5, could have won the game. You know, I can see that.
Yeah.
The Rams been there before. You lose one, you know, like everybody needs to go and lose. Everybody, like a Kobe is damn near a rare exception to like going the first time and winning. Everybody that get to the finals usually loses their first one, or they get super close and they lose at that moment.
Right, and that's
you know,
their moment. They learn.
Yeah, like okay, we ain't gonna do this again.
Right.
And I think the Rams had that. When they go 2018, 19, they just went a couple years ago and lost, and so I think that's fresh. And now you got somebody, pretty much nobody on that team has been, and it's like, okay, now we're here. We kind of like the Cinderella team. The Cinderella team never really pulls it off, though. You know, like they get close. Sometimes they do, but they never really do. Yeah, even when we see a Cinderella team in like the March Madness, they might beat a couple good teams, but eventually they lose. They never get to the whole national championship. So the Bengals have already gotten that far. ESPN said they were one of the biggest long shot odds to ever make a Super Bowl in history.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm like, wow. And I acknowledge that, but I didn't know that was official. But I remember, like, who would have predicted that they get to the Super Bowl? Like, that's wild. So now that they there, like, I would love to see them pull off that upset. But the Rams been there before. They got some experience. They got that hurt. I think that they're going to lean on that when it comes down to it.
My older brother was telling me today that somebody put like $1,000. Somebody here in Vegas, of course, put $1,000 on the Bengals like at the beginning, like in week 1 or week 3. I don't know if he said week 1 or week 3, but one of those to win. You feel me? And they got $1 million. They bet $1,000. They would be a millionaire if the Bengals win. If they win tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know what I'm doing. If I'm watching the game or
I'm not watching the game.
Nah, I'm watching the game.
I'm going on vacation. I'm gonna go chill with my girl. I'm gonna go watch a movie, and I'm gonna just check my phone when the movie over, game over, cause that adrenaline. Like we've been at sports books watching people scream, spilling drinks over because every little play, every call, the ref blow a call. He is losing his mind.
Yeah. Storming around.
I don't want to put myself in that for $1 million. They go crazy over $500 over 6 bands. Yeah. I got 6 bands on a $25 ticket that I could potentially get. You got $1 million.
Right.
Oh my God! I could imagine the adrenaline. I'd probably have a heart attack. Like every play, would drive me insane if it didn't go exactly as I needed it to go. Like that would be so crazy. So I wouldn't watch. I need to go to the park.
I probably
Clear
show
my
up at the
head.
game. I'd show up at the game.
All right, now I'm going to the game.
I'm going to the game,
I'm
and
for sure going to the game.
I'm gonna try to add an advantage to my team
Right.
as much as I can. I might have to call the quarterback the night before.
The game getting out of
Right,
hand
yeah,
at the
watching.
end. Fucking around the street.
You drive
on
a
the
blue
field.
Lamborghini, right?
Streak on the field. The game getting out of hand at the end.
Yeah. I'm bringing one of those lasers that go super
Right,
far.
bigger than that.
Boom.
Game winning drive.
Like Tyler Blue out there.
I need control of my destiny.
Facts. All right, any other sports topics?
Tonight,
Oh yeah,
there's a fight.
Izzy.
Israel
Yeah,
Adesanya versus
style
Robert
bender.
Whitaker. Rematch.
Yes, sir. We
Yeah.
got
Rematch.
I got Stylebender.
Of course.
I never go against Stylebender.
Yeah, I just would never like. Yeah, I wouldn't say anything otherwise.
Yeah, he's just gotten better.
Who's he fighting?
Robert Whitaker.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that name.
He's a former champ. That's who he took the belt from the first
Oh.
time. That's how he became champ. So
Dang.
Robert Whitaker ain't no joke either.
Who's he with the team?
First one was in Australia, which is Robert Whitaker's hometown.
Where's that fight at tonight?
New Zealand, which
Oh,
is
shit.
That's where he from.
that's where Stylebender's from.
Did he whoop him out bad the first time?
Yeah, he knocked him out.
Oh, so this looking like that.
And it
you
looked-
could totally
it looked
see that happen
effortless,
again.
too, yeah.
Ugh.
They both
That's
got
oh,
mad.
so you get your belt took effortlessly.
Yeah,
That's the worst.
but it's but
yeah.
Stylebender is no joke. Like
Yes, Albender.
Yeah.
each fight
he's
has
an
been
all-time great,
he's
like-
has looked effortless just because he's like really
Didn't he move up a weight class to fight? Who did he fight?
he fought Jan Blachowicz.
And he lost bad because he was just too big. I remember, I saw that. I
He
saw
just
that.
laid on him.
Yeah.
Like,
And you move up a weight class, like that's
Yeah.
always going to be impressive. Like you shouldn't even be here, let alone hang with us. Like
yeah. So this is gonna be a good fight because they both gotten extremely better. Robert
Yeah.
Whitaker's gotten better.
Yeah.
He's got and in fighting like it's so random. You never know. Anything can happen. Like
Facts.
you could get clipped.
Facts.
You can show up a little bit less out of shape.
Right.
Like
Right. Yeah, like that happened a lot. Like a lot of times people like win a belt or something and then they don't train as hard or they don't
yeah.
do the little minor details and things that they used to do. Like all that matters.
it's called.
Big time.
I just learned that it's called Dutch disease. Have you ever heard that term? I
Dutch
just learned
disease.
that Dutch disease basically is you work so hard to achieve a level of success, and once you get that level of success, your brain starts telling itself, I need to enjoy this
Right.
level of
Take that
success.
deep breath.
Whereas previously your brain was like work.
Right.
Now it's like
The second
I
you
have
relax,
X amount of time to enjoy this, and then you kind of start deteriorating. And Dutch disease applies to you can apply it to economics, to countries, to video game. It is so to life, like your lifestyle choices. It's fascinating. I just recently learned that you work so hard to where your brain starts telling itself like, well,
Time to
I
relax.
enjoy what you worked hard for. I don't want to keep working. I don't want to keep running as fast as I've been running. I want to sit back and enjoy what I've been running so hard to get. That then you kind of eventually fall off. So it's kind of sad. Like, it's crazy how that happens. It's a cycle of like.
That's why it takes a certain type of person to be like the people who are wired differently.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like I always have to be the best.
Yeah.
In
Man.
every single thing I do.
Man.
Like it's really I don't know. It could be a genetic thing or it could just be the circumstances in your life that led to you getting that way.
I think both. You look at like a Kobe. Kobe grew up with both parents, lived in Italy. He lived in the suburbs, but he got that dog mentality as somebody who had it as worse. I'm sure he has his own like bad experiences, but for like a structure, like he had a structure that LeBron didn't have. He was homeless, grew up in a single parent home. He knew what it's like to sleep in cars, parks. That somebody coming from that, you understand that mentality. DeMar DeRozan, Russ, they grew up in gang violence, so they got that mentality. Like, I gotta get out of this. So I think it's both. Like somebody could come from different scenarios and still feel like it's this or nothing. Like I'm going to do this. Like that's probably both genetics, choice in general. Like my brain is. I only process things to go as hard as I can.
Yeah.
That's all I can do.
I think it's about like falling in love with the process. Right?
Yeah. You care enough.
Yeah, you gotta just love the process, love what you do. You gotta love the everyday grind of it. Like you gotta fall in love with the grind. You feel me? You can't never focus on like the victory or the loss or whatever the end result.
Right.
Like, you gotta just stay down on the grind and hope for the best shit. And hope for the best. Even like I talked about Kobe in his last game earlier. Like he was like dog tired at the end of that game. Like really
no
like
knees, no
really like
cartilage,
struggled to
No
finish
fingers,
that game.
shoulder shot.
icing.
Yeah, you feel me? 60 in your last game, and he didn't crack a smile until the clock hit 0.0. You feel me? Like he had that same Mamba mentality look on his face the whole time. You feel me? Like everybody in the crowd, everybody knows his last game. Everybody in the crowd shat. Everybody laughing and joking.
Right.
Even Spike
The
Lee in
whole
LA,
world
Spike
was
Lee in
watching
LA,
that
everybody
shit.
like cheering on. Yeah,
That was the same night that Golden State broke the record,
Yeah.
the regular season record.
Oh yeah.
The exact same night.
Yeah.
Everybody was tuned into this game, which really didn't matter, but it mattered because it was Kobe's last game.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that was
He
good.
went and got 60.
Yeah.
I don't think Brown. I wonder who has that. I can see Steph doing something like that because in his last game he'll probably shoot 33 pointers.
Oh yeah.
Literally just run around the court shooting the ball. KD will probably run around the court shooting a lot of shots.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't really see anybody even coming close to having a game like that. On your way out,
Yeah.
Brown on his way out might score 22.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, like it's gonna be all free throws or something like that. He ain't gonna bust nobody. Like
all
that
the
was
injuries,
different.
Some rebounds.
That was different. Yeah. He'll probably grab 6
Yeah,
boards.
yeah.
all the
But to-
injuries and shit Kobe was fighting through
Yeah.
too at the end of his career.
Like
Just go out there
every
and
joint
finish
you
every
can name
single
was
joint
shot, and he is scoring over the best athletes on earth.
on earth. Like really giving y'all
That's crazy. I don't see anybody
Doubling
duplicating that.
triple, too.
You better be a great shooter to duplicate that because he ran around the court and got
Had
60.
Joe Ingles in his face.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward getting
Gordon
worked
Hayward,
out.
yeah.
Gordon Hayward's having 25 a game, getting obliterated. Like,
Yeah, Kobe's that guy, man. Kobe one
That's
of
a
them,
fact.
one of them people.
that's
dog.
a great story to tell.
No, facts. Yeah, I was watching last night. I was watching what year was that? I want to say it was 2010. I want to say he was playing Steve Nash in the Western Conference Finals. A great game. And Kobe got 2 fouls early in the first quarter, and he came back on a mission. Like they was going at it, dog. Like, I love watching old Lakers games. I'm just a huge Lakers fan. I don't know. I'm a huge Lakers fan. But Andrew Bynum and Pau Gasol out there and shit. D-Fish. That shit was dope. But anything else in sports?
I can't think of nothing else.
No.
That's what it is.
I had one more little.
Yeah, I was gonna say before we close out, how y'all feel about what was it, Frontier buying Spirit?
I only read the headlines. I didn't read like all the ins and outs of the detail.
Yeah, y'all fuck with
But
Spirit. Y'all fuck Spirit. Y'all.
I've flown Spirit, I think maybe twice, like there and back twice, but like one sitting.
Yeah,
It was okay. Their seats are like purple. When I went, they had like purple lights along the inside. The floor kind of got 2 strings of purple. It looked cool. A casual airplane is kind of just a regular airplane, but Spirit had colors. I thought that was cool. I understand all the jokes about the turbulence and stuff, but I never experienced that in my
Spirit is
ride
They
in
got like the
Spirit.
least amount of space.
And I was in high school, so I probably just don't remember how
I
bad
feel
it was to
Frontier.
compare it to nothing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Both of them shit.
Really?
Like, the least amount of space, like
See, I can't remember
Space.
that.
It's
Like,
like-
I used to fly a lot, so you feel me, like
There's not even a
I
amount of
was always
space
on that
on
Spirit.
Frontier.
Yeah.
Frontier,
Frontier,
my knees are pressing against
pressing
the
against,
back
and
seat.
then
Like,
really?
still
Dang,
having
it's
nurse
really
let go
that
see
bad?
that. I know you already feel my knee,
Right.
You
Yeah.
still gonna try to let your seat back.
so do you think this could be positive for them that they're merging?
Yeah, I don't know. Those are both two
Better be positive.
very
Bad,
low level
yeah.
airlines. You feel me? Like they already got a bad rep amongst the people. You feel
Yeah.
me? So I don't know. Like they would merge. They should have merged and changed their name type shit. Like changing the name of the whole new brand. You
Right.
feel me? No Frontier, no Spirit, no more. We are now whatever.
Yeah,
And they should took this opportunity to rebrand for
I
sure.
mean, shit, you get what you pay for, though.
Right.
Yeah,
Those are
that's a
some
fact.
cheap ass flights.
I will say, even if they do get bad quality, moves like that should still be illegal. They are too big to merge into one. Like, the purpose of business, when you are that big, so like there's have you ever heard like there's monopolies and things like that.
Yeah.
But the term that most regularly fits the world today is the term oligopoly. Oligopoly is where 5 people run everything, but only those 5 ever run everything. And it's just like telecommunications. Like we've talked about, AT&T and Verizon used to be the same company. The reason that they broke up is because they technically should have broken up. It was the right move to break them up. It's kind of like our banking system is too big to fail. We got 5 super big banks, but we should have 1,000 good-sized banks. You know, we could break up all 5 of those banks into 1,000 other banks, and that's what we should do. Those banks focus on houses. Those banks focus on auto loans. Those banks focus on credit cards. That's how it should go, as opposed to 5 big banks.
It's a good amount of airlines, though. I don't know. I don't think that, and then those, like I said, those are 2 low-level airlines. I don't think that they're merged.
Yeah, they're low level in terms of success. I mean, in terms of success to us. They are 2 of the largest airlines in history.
A lot of people like Spirit is a joke, but a lot of people fly Spirit because it's so cheap. You feel me? But
yeah.
I don't know that they necessarily pose a super huge threat to the airline industry in this merger because like I said, there's plenty of other companies and they have better reputations and more like I don't know, like it is a huge move. I don't disagree with you at all on that. It is a huge merger, but I don't know that I feel like in this particular situation that the industry is threatened.
Yeah, I don't know that I feel that way either. It's just historically speaking, when you are among the absolute biggest of something, niggas never really like it's us, like we are a unit, you know, because like we go back to banks, they was the first ones to really do that, and they caught hell for it, you know, like I'm a big bank, the homie a big bank, but me and him rock, and y'all hate that. So it kind of became the norm to like, ooh, that was nice, kind of like separate those types of things. So I mean, the point of capitalism is, you know, the survival of the fittest, you know, like if you can survive, you do. So I'm not against it in the name of business and competition, but when we speak from a historical standpoint, our government and big business, they've always tried to make it a thing to not let stuff like that rock, and now it's becoming a thing.
Yeah.
Like now, like all big businesses are merging. Banks are merging more than ever before. Telecommunications is merging more than ever before. Mortgage companies is merging like ever before. Like we are seeing consolidation take place on a scale we've never seen.
You're right.
That is kind of cool to see in real time. Like reading about big banks becoming like J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan was the man, J.P. Morgan, and when he gave it up, it was a series of 30 banks merging over the course of years to just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And now it's the biggest bank in the world in terms of assets. Like it took place over, we're going to buy them in 1991. In 1993, we bought that. Bank of America kind of did the same thing. Citigroup kind of, they just buy up stuff. So to read about it versus seeing in real time how a company grows and turns into a conglomerate that spans everything, that's actually kind of cool to see in real time. I ain't gonna cap.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It just happens. $26 billion deal, $30 billion deal, $7 billion deal before you know it. Like, dang.
Yeah.
That's just that.
Nah, yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. See, I got one more thing, you know, and then y'all
Go ahead. I got one more talking to
only because we talked about it on here before. We was talking about the 9/11 victims trying to get their frozen aid from Afghanistan.
Yeah.
They got that shit. They gave them. I think, like I said, it was like a $7 billion aid that was stopped. They split that shit in half. They gave them half of it. That's huge. And they ain't put up much of a fight. Like, they got that money quick. Like, damn.
Somebody probably knows something.
Right.
Government ain't never quick to get nobody no money.
No. So yeah, that's not really a topic. It's more like an update.
Nah, that was dope though. Just to piggyback off a previous conversation.
Yeah, so it's an update of something we talked about before. What you had left?
I was gonna talk about So our major countries have had another conference, and me and briefly discussed this. Vladimir Putin, he went on the record. So it's basically, have you keeping up with or just heard about the Ukraine situation?
Yeah.
They basically it's
close,
up.
yeah.
You know, like it's up, to keep it short and sweet. It's up with Ukraine and China. This move changed everything. It looked like it was Ukraine and Russia. Then it became America and Ukraine versus Russia. China stepped up and said, hey, they went to the meeting and said, hey, we are fully in support of Russia.
Right.
Do that. So America is basically trying to expand the rules of NATO into Ukraine, which technically they don't have grounds to do geographically, but like treaty-wise, you know, technically they do. Like technically you do, technically you don't. Russia is saying, yeah, technically you do, but if you do, you know, like it's one of those, like, yeah, America, you can technically do whatever you want, but this is still Europe. And if you come to Europe, it's up.
What about what Ukraine thinks? Like, y'all not about to be playing tug of world war with me.
Nobody really cares when you're inferior. That's the messed up part about it. Don't nobody care.
Realistically, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, still, like, damn, y'all really about to have an all-out brawl over me, like,
yeah.
I'm a whole country, like, let me just all, like,
but they're so needy. Everything that goes on positive in the country is the direct benefit of relations with another country.
They still have a say so. Like, who's helping
Yeah.
do? Who do I feel is helping?
You'll always have a say so, but remember,
who do I feel is helping?
Say so goes out the window when it's disrespect. Yeah, a country has a say so, but when that bigger country is saying it's up, now you don't really have a say so. You know, like Austria and Germany. Austria didn't ask to get invaded, but at that point, what can you do? We're already ravaged by World War I, you know, and now Germany and Hitler over there talking big shit, talking about they finna press niggas again. Yeah, I have a say-so in should we be pressed or not, but if it's up in arms, then you don't really have a say-so because them niggas is stomping through here right now, you know, like, and now there's World War II, so yeah, you should have a say-so. Ukraine should have a say-so, just like Taiwan and China. You should have a say-so, but if somebody really gonna come press China about this issue, you won't. You know, like that's the problem. You won't come press China about this issue. You won't come press Russia about this issue. Biden said this weeks ago. He came out and said, oh, there will be dire consequences if they do this. And then right after that, Google it, he said, oh, never mind, I'm just kidding. That's basically what he said. Literally, he said it would be too difficult to execute certain military strategies that he like. You're not finna just go stomp through there like you thought you would. And now that China has said, oh, you really not finna just do that. I think that is crazy. We've never seen two countries stand against America so bluntly, like ever. In our grandparents' lives, they have never seen, this goes back to the 40s. Nobody has stood in America's way and said, you will not. So I think that's even bigger than just what Putin said. But he was like, look, if America gonna do his thing, we gonna respond. He said Russia is one of the leaders in nuclear power. He said we know we don't equate to the power of NATO. NATO is countries, multiple countries. He was like, we know we don't equate them in power, but we are still us, and it will be up if y'all choose for it to be. So he told him like there will be no winners. Me and him discussed that. Like I love that he was kind of direct and honest about that because it's easy for somebody to be like, we finna go to war, we finna invade, we finna take over, we finna do this. He was honest, like, look, if there's war, we all are gonna die. Exactly. Nobody wants that. So for that reason, let us do us and y'all do y'all. Because we don't want the alternative. And he is right. We all will die. Like
it's just a matter of who's willing to die for what.
Yeah, who's willing to die first and who's confident that they'll be the last. Like that's literally all it comes down to. So I think that's crazy. Like we were kind of discussing like how realistic is war. It's looking scary.
No, yeah, it's upon us. You feel me? Like mobilizing, I should say, 100,000 troops to the border. That's not light at all.
That's an initial flex.
America
that's like we will go up from here.
America sent 8,500 troops.
Thinking it was sweet.
Russia lined up 100,000 people. I don't know how many NATO forces is out there, but I know America sent 8,500 initially, and then I think we sent like another couple thousand, which still wasn't
nothing.
Like
nothing. Pales in comparison.
I feel like this is an issue that Russia, like you say, everybody, nobody's gonna win or whatever his quote was, but I feel like this is an issue that Russia is willing to go farther for than we are. You feel me? Like, how hard are we truly going to go for Ukraine? Like, we obviously have an interest there, or we wouldn't be this deep into the shit. But you feel me? You know, like, you feel me? Like, some people willing to die for something that you're not really, like, you'll fight for, but you're not really trying to die for.
I think that's why Biden kind of recanted some of his words. It's like he still is very careful with his words. Very careful. Like, he's in the world over this.
Him and Putin had a phone call today that was like an hour long. I was reading up earlier. That was like an hour long, and if you pay attention to the wordage that Biden was using when he spoke about the phone call, like, it's very careful. It's very like, you're not provoking, very unprovocative. You feel me? Like, you better be speaking compliments of my name. Like,
fact. I mean, if Taiwan is like Asian America, Taiwan is damn near an extinction of America. They got so many heavy ties there, and this was when these were things that were established before China became unified. So China kind of got their life together by promoting this thing called One China. That thing is what made them feel like, look, there is one China. Taiwan is a part of China, period. End of that discussion. Whatever we want to do, we should be able to do with nobody saying nothing else. But you got to kind of understand the history of China. They were super divided, broken apart. There was a real bad opiate crisis out there. So literally the average person in China was a drug addict at a point in time in the 1900s. You know, like, it was crazy where it wasn't one China. It wasn't united. So foreigners could kind of come have extra relations with a country, and China is acting like that wasn't a thing. And they it's like it's their house, so they gonna get that final say. But I understand why at least somebody like America, like, look, we didn't have ties with Taiwan since before China became China. When y'all all was drug addicts and poor and homeless, we was locked in with Taiwan. Right. Now that y'all all bossed up and looking like the #1 country in the world, y'all trying to take Taiwan back. But we still got something to say about that. So I kind of understand the situation. It's touchy though, but it's like, man, but going back, I brought that up because, like you said, how serious is y'all willing to take this? If America wasn't finna press China over interest in Taiwan, you better not be willing to press shit over Ukraine.
Like, that's like neighbor, like they are.
Yeah, that's there. The Ukraine was once a part of, when they were all the Soviet Union, that was one. And so that's crazy that.
And that's why they going so hard, because they still, Russia and Putin still feel like they back with us. Like, they're still they with us.
They facts. They gonna always that. Going back to Hitler. Hitler felt like that. There was Austria and Germany. They were related, but there was Austria, Germany. There was Austria-Hungary too. Yeah, you know, and so like that, huh? Yeah. And so, and that's crazy because you preaching your bloodline and kind of going against them for Germans. But he felt like this is our turf. The wrong people run this turf, you know, and we the rightful ones. So we can't tell them they wrong. Just like all these Middle Eastern countries, they were all one at a point in time, and then lines got drawn, beefs took up, bodies dropped, and then it was up from there. It's never gonna be the same.
Right.
It's like Bloods and Crips on a way different scale. Like having cousins from different sects. Once a body drop, it's like, I gotta choose this side. You gotta choose that side. That's kind of what happens with these countries.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I always talk about how everything happens on such a larger scale. Like, but you could break it down, like you just said, Crips and Bloods or your family or whatever. Like,
we're all still human.
Facts. Everybody got something that tick them off, or that they got a line that they gonna press. It is what it is, man. I don't know what exactly it is that we care so much about Ukraine for. I don't know if it's like a strategic, geographic location for us to have, because, like I said, it shares a border with Russia, and then it's right next to Russia, but still, it's always gonna be something right next to you. Right. Like, you don't want somebody to expand so much. You feel me? Like, we don't want the idea of communism or whatever to expand anywhere. You feel me? Right. Like, anywhere where there's a chance of having like a Western influence. You feel me? So yeah, I don't know. It's tough. That's tough, man. We're gonna see where it go though, man. Every day is something. It's something else. Like this is the talk of the world right now, or at least it should be. It should be like.
To get Russian citizenship.
Yeah. Yeah, they got the Olympics or whatever going on in China right now.
What, the winter one?
The winter Olympics,
Okay.
yeah. Bobsled and skiing and all of that fun stuff. China don't got no time to be doing no fighting right now. We can't get into no fights when we got Americans in China. You feel me?
Man, I hope they had that mentality.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. We started evacuating the U.S. embassies and all of that type of stuff in the Ukraine, so it's getting close. You feel me? Once you start evacuating people, like giving it a 48-hour notice before it's up, then you know it's real at that point. For sure.
I hope stuff like this make America mind its business. Like, I get that you want to play policeman to the world, but that has never worked. Like, at some point, you gotta know that and give it up. These dudes is not playing. You know, like, they not playing. They're willing to go to work, literally willing to end the world. And all because you're not minding your business. You know, like, just shut up.
They could be our business. That's what I'm saying. I get you, and I agree, but I also understand that it's like a lot of different strings that are being pulled behind the scenes in the world. You feel me? Like I don't know exactly why we go so hard for Ukraine, but I do understand that there could be something super serious, like where we need them, or like this is the area we could have weapons over there, like in case we needed to get at Russia or anything in that country. Like if Russian forces go and take over, it's ugly.
Facts.
It's ugly. We could just be stalling so we could remove stuff out of Ukraine. We know they about to get invaded. We might not really even about to fight so hard, but we just buying time so we could get some of our stuff out of there. If we got any hidden missiles, nukes, or whatever over there, or anything, you never know, dog. You just never know what's really going on behind the scenes.
Right.
But yeah, we should mind our business, but that's the problem. We don't know exactly what is our business and what's not. All right. You had anything else though?
No. That's it.
Man, you should have it down for 2 more seconds, man.
It's all good. We're gonna end that without him.
You're right, facts. Episode 12.
Yes, sir.
In the Footsteps Podcast, as always. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Check out the audio version on all audio platforms. What else? That's it. Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
That's it. It's been another one, man. It's your boy, Dear Brother Flair, Big
Grits and
Derry,
ham.
Big Diesel. Yes, sir. You know what it is. And that's a wrap, man. We out of here. Oh, God. One of the first.